आमच्या भविष्या खातीर ते बलिदान दितात. आम्ही मजेत घरात असतात त्या त्रासांची येता. सीमेर उबे राहून देगीत तुमकां फक्त देशाचीच काळजी. तुमकां आमचा मानाचा मुजरो सलाम फौजी, सलाम फौजी. तुमकां आमचा मानाचा मुजरो सलाम फौजी, सलाम फौजी.
जय हिंद व्ह्युअर्स, हांव जॉन आगियार आनी आमच्या शोन सलाम फौजी शोन मागीर उगाच येवकार. खूब जाणांक खबर ना की आर्मी म्हणल्यार खूब जाणांक दिसता की इट इज फॉर इन्फंट्री, कॉम्बॅट फायटींग वगैरे म्हणून. बट देर आर लॉट ऑफ ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज इन द आर्मी. लायक इफ यू आर अ डॉक्टर यू कॅन जॉयन द आर्मी एज इन द आर्मी मेडिकल कोर. आर्मी डेंटल कोरान डेंटिस्ट म्हणून जॉयन जावंक शकता. तशेंच आर्मी एज्युकेशन कोरान टिचर्स म्हणून जावंक शकता. नर्सिंग सर्विसीस, इफ यू आर क्वॉलिफायड नर्स यू कॅन जॉयन एज अ नर्स इन द आर्मी. इन जज एडवोकेट जनरल ब्रांच आसा तातूंत एडवोकेट जॉयन जावंक शकता. अशा तरेचे ब्रांचेस आसात थंय वेगवेगळे प्रोफेशनल्स जॉयन जातात. लॉट ऑफ ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज आर देर टू जॉयन द आर्म फोर्सीस. अशेंच आमचे कडेन एक बरे प्रतिश्ठीत अशे डॉक्टर आमचे कडेन आयिल्ले आसा. ते लेफ्टनंट कर्नल. ही वॉज लेफ्टनंट कर्नल इन द इंडियन आर्मी आनी डिस्टिंग्वीश करियर ताणें आशिल्लो ताचो. लेफ्टनंट कर्नल डॉक्टर विनोद साळकर. ही वॉज डुईंग हीज इंटर्नशीप एट Goa Medical College when a child during a childhood as a childhood aspiration made him join the Indian Army. He was commissioned into the AMC Army Medical Corps in 1987. He did his MD while in service. A high profile officer, he was with the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Sierra Leone and later with IPKF, Indian Peacekeeping Force in Sri Lanka. Lieutenant Colonel did 2 terms each at Army Hospital, RNR, New Delhi and at Command Hospital, Pune. Even though there were chances for further promotion, he had opted for a premature retirement and he came to serve his village in Goa. तर आमचे म्हऱ्यान आसात आज लेफ्टनंट कर्नल डॉक्टर विनोद साळकर साहेब. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Doctor, please tell us about your education and how did you opt for doctor as a profession?
I did my basic schooling in Wareham, my village, that is Magus. After finishing my 10th standard, I joined MP College of Arts and Science. Thereafter, I got admission in Goa Medical College in 1982. And the journey towards army started only in the year 1984 when a delegation from Delhi came to Goa Medical College, basically to motivate young students and medical students to join Army Medical Corps. During their lecture they told us about the benefits what we would have got, the chances of doing post graduation, chances of serving the nation, and it was a medical cadet scheme which they launched that time. And in this scheme, the requirement was that you should pass MBBS first attempt, then you would get permanent commission. And during this last 1 year, government would pay you 600 rupees per month as a stipend. That was incentive they gave during this time. It was 7,200 rupees once you joined the army. It was a big amount that time, comparatively big amount. So 10 students were required to go to Delhi if you were to avail free transport and free accommodation at the cost of government. So 10 of us like-minded students got together and decided to answer this interview. Out of these 10, only 4-5 were really keen on joining army, but the rest wanted to see Delhi.
I see.
So when we went for the interview, most of us cleared in the interview session, but only four of us could clear the medical examination, which is very tough. And out of those 4, I was the first one to join after passing in 1986. When I got a call from Army headquarters, I immediately decided to join. And one of my colleagues joined one after later than me.
पुढून तुमचे सिलेक्शन कशें जाता फॉर रेग्युलर आर्मी ऑफिसर्स इट इज सर्वीस सिलेक्शन बोर्ड तुमकां सर्वीस सिलेक्शन बोर्ड आसना पूण वॉट टायप ऑफ
See, Army Medical Corps takes recruitment or enrollment of doctors through either direct entry or through FMC. Now, when it is FMC, it is entirely NEET exams. After 12th standard, you have to qualify for NEET exams and get through FMC, and there you get a permanent commission or short service commission, depending on your performance.
So there are two options. One is AFMC, Army.
And the second option is, like every year, AFMS, that is Armed Forces Medical Services, will declare the vacancies in leading newspapers, Employment Exchange or News or leading newspapers. They declare their vacancies, and anyone who has graduated from a college which is recognized by university grant, they can apply for it after MBBS or even after MD or MDS or whatever it is. They can apply for it and they will get short service commission. Now, depending on what is your requirement or how you want to build up your career, it is entirely up to the candidate to decide whether he wants to leave after 7 years or 14 years or continue as a PC. It depends on your performance and then examination which you require to clear to go for PC.
आर्म फोर्सेस मेडिकल सर्विसेस म्हटल्या पळय तुमी तातूंत समज इफ यू आर सिलेक्टेड टू डू अ मेडिकल कोर्स इन दॅट कॉलेज then you are passed out directly as a...
Yes, there you will be, your passing out parade will give you rank.
Okay.
You will get your commission when you pass out of your MBBS. So usually when you pass out, you are a lieutenant, and once you finish your internship, you become a captain, and then the thing starts.
Otherwise, if you join directly after MBBS,
it's a captain.
Bakichang left.
But you get an antedate. If you have a post graduation, you get antedate of 2 years. That means you are senior to other captains by 2 years. So if two captains join, one is with PG, the other one is not postgraduate, you will get an antedate of 2 years. You get a seniority of 2 years. So we have whatever time you have spent in your post graduation, that is recovered in your seniority.
आर्मी डॉक्टर इन आर्मी म्हणल्यार मातशें टफ कशें वेगळें लायफ कशें तुमी कसो हो चॅलेंज घेतलो हाव डीड यू एक्सेप्ट दिस चॅलेंज
See, army doctors, when they are wearing a uniform, they have a dual role to play. The first role in uniform is that of a soldier.
Yes.
Where you have to do whatever a soldier does, a doctor has to do it as a soldier, forgetting that he is a doctor. And when it comes to your doctor's profession, you have to forget uniform, wear an apron over it, and do the role of a healer. That healer will be true for your own troops, for your enemies, or whatever it is. So these are two entities which are difficult to merge, but when you wear uniform, you learn all those things. Army will mold you the way they want to do it, because you don't have to have courage, or you don't have to fight against anything to overcome the hurdles. There are lots of senior officers there to guide you, and the very the environment in which you are put, I don't think anyone requires any push. You have to gain momentum by having a positive thinking, high morale, and which you learn from your seniors. There are lots your seniors will teach you in army. So you don't require extra courage. The courage comes automatically.
During your basic training, this part is included, combat training, weapon training.
Once you join army from outside or from FMC, there is a course called as MOBC, that is called as Medical Officers Basic Course, wherein you will do only physical activity, you will do only the role of a soldier and nothing else. This is a very, very tough course, wherein you have to do 5 kilometers running, 7 kilometers running. You have to put your Pit2 9 kg Pit2 on your shoulder, take a rifle and run 5 kilometers. You have to, full equipment. You have to do that, and you have to do it in a stipulated time frame. You have to finish your BPET, if you want to come in excellent in 26 minutes, 5 kilometers. If you don't, then you have to repeat it. There is no option.
You all done all this.
Till such time, yes, you have to do it. And MOBC you will pass only if you do this. That is battle preparedness. That is battle efficiency tests are all done during this course. And being young at that age, it is possible. Nothing is impossible. The weakest of the doctors physically manage to overcome all these hurdles. You have to jump 9 feet ditch, and till such time you don't cross it, you have to keep doing it, and you do it one day.
7 feet wall.
Yes. And if you don't jump that 9 feet, you are in the kitchen. तो इतलं चिखलान पडलं म्हणटा वयर आयलं म्हणटा कोण मनीस तो दिश्टी पडचो ना. It is a more of a prestige issue then.
Plus there is double ditch is also there.
Yes. So all the physical activities are there. Plus they teach you how to fire a SLR. They teach you how to fire a Sten gun. They teach you how to throw a grenade. How to assemble a weapon. How to assemble a pistol. How to dismantle a pistol. Everything is taught during this 2 months period. It is not that you are going to use this, but in case when the situation arises, yes, you never know, because you are in a field situation where you may be the only person who is there to defend your country, and then you have to pick up the gun.
There is a doctor in the news, Army Medical Corps doctor, who has done a course with, first time she has done a commando course with the Para-SF.
Yes, maybe the lady is the first one, but there are lots of medical officers who do paratroopers course. We had with us in Sierra Leone also paratroopers, and they are perfectly fit people.
And there is another doctor recently, a captain. He got Kirti Chakra for his action. He went and saved the Godam which was on fire.
Yes, these things, the spirited things and courage and the
so doctors also play an important role.
This bravery comes when the situation demands, you have to do it.
Colonel, what is the life of a doctor in the Indian Army?
As I told you, you have to play a dual role. Like in army, you cannot expect that you will be in a hospital setting all the time. Most of the times, when you have got commissioned, you have to serve in a field area. Now when it comes to field area, you have to get posted as a regimental medical officer in one of the infantry battalions who are deployed on the field. Either they are in deep field, they are in tough terrain, in high altitude, or they are on the border areas. Now this tenure is usually for 2 to 3 years, wherein you are the only doctor and nothing else to look after. You are looking after 800 troops. And whatever knowledge you have to utilize it. Whatever surgical skills you have to utilize it. And you have no support system except for a nursing assistant who will be there to assist you. In a difficult place like Rajasthan and all, where the transport is a problem, where navigation is a problem, you have to manage yourself. And it's a tough task. It's not like here you have a doctor in civil setup, you can always ask help from someone, but there no, you have to manage yourself. If you have to do a suturing in a patient in an area where there is nothing else but all sand around in Rajasthan, which I have done once, you have to sit under the tree and do the suturing. So you have no options. If sudden accident takes place, you have to look at the casualties, evacuation of casualties, emergency medical aid. These are some preparedness you should have in mind, and there should be toughness. Mentally you should be very tough to take on the challenge. There have been instances in Sri Lanka where I was the only doctor in the battalion and the next doctor was far away, wherein we had to go in the ambulance and pick up the casualties in a area where it was fully infested with LTT militants. This was way back in 1988. And you have to have courage, which you need not have. When I am doing practice here in my village town here, I am a relaxed man. I know that 108 comes on time. I know there are super specialists available at a phone call. I know that my patients will not suffer. But there it is a different story altogether. you have to manage.
तुम्ही काश्मीरात काही काम केलं? You worked in Kashmir.
Yes, I was in 92 base hospital from 2005 to 2006. It was one of the best field hospitals in Indian Army, and if you happen to be there, you must see this hospital. The best part about this hospital is that this is a very busy hospital wherein you get casualties round the clock 24/7, and the staff who is posted there, I would say they are meta-motivated. They are highly self-motivated. Whenever there is a casualty, the communication channel need not work. One officer or one nursing officer or one nursing assistant knows that the casualty is coming. Within 5 minutes, the whole hospital knows that the casualty is coming, and your emergency room is ready to receive the casualties. That much is the motivation level of the staff. The surgeons, the anesthetists, they are highly motivated, and it's a treat to work in that hospital.
And Doctor, how does it help being an army officer, army doctor, to serve in the civilian life?
See, I think what I am today, the success of my practice today, I entirely owe it to the uniform.
Discipline.
The discipline, the self-confidence, the leadership qualities, the humane aspect, which I don't think many people know about it. The humane aspect which army uniform people display in times of crisis is tremendous. And that is imbibed in uniform. And I think all these qualities, if you have, go to the clinic on time, don't come back on time. This is what we used to do in army. You have to be there on your duty 15 minutes to 20 minutes before your scheduled time, but you don't have time to come back home. You know a lot of things about sacrifice in army. You have served 20 years or 30 years. There are lots of sacrifices which goes unnoticed, which civilians will not understand. The sacrifices need not be quantified, but lots of sacrifices you have to do if you have to wear uniform and serve the nation.
Doctor, you have served during peacekeeping force also. You have served in Sierra Leone and IPKF in Sri Lanka. त्याच्याबद्दल माहिती माहिती just tell us.
See, IPKF was in 1988-89, where I was very new, and there was one officer who came to receive me at Palali Airport in Jaffna. And from Palali Airport to my unit, that was in Nirveli, a place called as Nirveli, was about 10 kilometers. And on the way, it was all thick jungles and bushes, banana trees, plantations, and you can't see anything. I could not spot a single house which was intact. The whole 10 kilometers journey, all houses were smashed out, destroyed. And that sight itself was frightening. Whole night I didn't sleep. I didn't know where I had come to. We had to stay in a small room. The field conditions were very tough there, and fortunately when I reached there, the most of the action was over, and I was getting only tits and bits of fighting. But still it was a dangerous place to live in. And we were fortunate to miss attempt on our life once. I'll briefly tell you. 4 Mahar Regiment, 4 Mahar Borders was the unit where I was posted as RMO. And this battalion had 4 companies deployed in different parts in Jaffna. I used to visit each of these companies once in a week to provide medical cover, because it was very difficult for troops to come because they were targeted. Most of the times doctors were not targeted. But in this event, what happened, it was the doctor and his vehicle was targeted. There was a place called as Puttur where we had gone for medical checkup. Ambulance. It was at night, 8 o'clock, we were returning back. The distance from our headquarters and that area was just 3 kilometers. And this LTT were very notorious in blasting roads and culverts. So the road from where we were coming, they had blasted one culvert through landmines earlier. So there was a big trough. So the vehicles used to slow down there. So two of our vehicles, when they reached this trough, there was a burst of AK-47 fire. So two drivers were very alert. They took the vehicle off road, and it was just 1 kilometer short of our headquarters. So we reached the place. No casualties. When the vehicle was inspected, the vehicle in which I was there, just 1 inch above the petrol tank, there was a burst of AK-47 fire. And if that was to hit the petrol pump, I wouldn't have been here with you today. Next day, the CO sent a cordon and search operations and found that there more than 400 rounds were fired from that area from AK-47. So it is Jako Rako Saya, Mar Sake Na Koi. You have life, you will leave. It is all God. And then you become very superstitious in such places. So this is one incident where we escaped.
Doctor, you opted for premature retirement when you had chances to further promotion.
There were multiple reasons for this. Major reason was when I joined army, you asked me about the hurdles in that question. The only hurdle which I found when I joined was my mother. She felt that I was the only doctor in the family and he was going out. She was not happy, but since I had made preparations in 1984 when I answered that interview, everyone knew that I would join army as one of the options. So it was not resurfacing again. But my mother was not keen. And after finishing 20 years of service, and my mother was not keeping good health, this is one factor which I considered. Second, I always wanted to contribute something for the society. And this journey in army for 21 years was a very adventurous and beautiful journey which I enjoyed thoroughly. And I thought I'll make a second innings in my civil life and contribute to the society, to humanity, to whatever extent possible. The other reason why this feeling came to me was because I lost my father at the age of 14 years. My father was a severe asthmatic. He used to get frequent attacks of asthma at midnight. In our village, there was only one taxi in the village. There was no health infrastructure there. There were no 10 at that time. Communication was problem. A taxi used to come, pick up my father through the ferry boat, take him to Panjim Goa Medical College. He used to get admitted for 10-15 days. That misery and suffering of my father I witnessed for a long period of time. So it was more of an emotional decision which I made in early childhood.
Dr. Magasangan, what would you advise the young Goan aspirants who are aspiring to join the Indian Army as a doctor?
See, Army, I feel, is the best organization to join if at all you want to join any services in a government setting. It gives you confidence, it gives you pride, it gives you courage, it motivates you to be positive in life, it gives you leadership qualities, financially it secures you, which is very important. And overall, there is always a sense of satisfaction that you have done something for the nation. If at all the youngsters today want to join army, they should prepare when they are in secondary school. It is not only scholastic performance which is important. It is physical and mental toughness which is very, very important if you want to join services. Any services for that matter, like you said, medical corps or dental corps or services or any corps for that matter. And only thing is that you should not be waiting for to be reached in life. Today materialistic gains have been a priority in most of the youngsters. They want to climb the ladder very fast. Now it's not possible in army. You know what you will be after 20 years. And if you don't have that materialistic mind, and if you have a patriotism in you, and if you have a feeling that you should do something for the country, I think there is nothing better than army or defense services to join.
थँक्यू डॉक्टर. मुद्दम तुमी हांगा आयले आनी आमच्या भुरग्यांक मोटिवेट केले, आमच्या व्युअर्सांक मोटिवेट केले म्हूण तुमकां मना काळजांत हांव देव बरें करूं म्हणटा. सलाम फौजी.
आमचा मानाचा मुजरा सलाम फौजी, सलाम फौजी. तुमका आमचा मानाचा मुजरा सलाम फौजी, सलाम फौजी.